Amen. Listen, we're in times today. We're in times that, that seem bleak to others. Prices are skyrocketing and our jobs ain't going nowhere. The economy's falling out and people are still requiring more money to live. Let me tell you something, friends. Today I know a God, that it will give us, supply all of our needs according to His riches and glory. And His riches, friends, don't run out. It says according to His riches and glory. That means He'll give you what you need. He'll give you all the things. Because Jesus said He knows we have needs for raiment. He knows we have food, a need for food. He said, but seek ye first the kingdom of God. Amen. Listen. That kingdom of God is being set up. That kingdom of God lays ahead of us. That's the place I'm pressing towards. That's the place, friends, that in the times that it seems that this world is falling to pieces all around me, that's when I know, that my redemption is drawing nigh. That's when I know, friends, listen, I can hold on to this gospel and know that I got a day coming. The gospel means good news. Amen. Listen, we ought to be able to smile tonight if we have the gospel written upon our hearts. We ought to be able to smile tonight and listen and say this: I'll stand strong in God because when everyone else is against me, God is for me. Amen. Listen. The governor answered, saying to them, whether of the twain will ye that I release unto you? And they said, Barabbas. Pilate knew that they had delivered Jesus unto him because of envy. Pilate knew that. He knew that he had the last say-so. But he turned it over to the people and he said, I'll ask you, who would you rather have, Barabbas or Jesus that is called the Christ? You see, He's always been the prophesied Messiah. From Genesis 3 all the way up unto this point, He had been prophesied about. Jesus had even walked into the temple, and because He was of the bloodline, He was able to take the scroll. He was a rabbi. He was able to stand up and read that day, and no one could say nothing to him. And He said, give me the scroll of Isaiah. Amen. Listen, and when he opened it up, he read about himself. Amen. Listen, he read in the scrolls unto the people about himself, and he said, this day, this prophecy has been fulfilled in your ears. And they all stood and marveled at him. Friends, blinded, listen, at the King, blinded looking at the one that's going to stand between you and eternity, the one that when, friends, the great white throne comes down. When you go before it, He'll be sitting upon it. And friends, that day, listen, He'll say, had I not told you, did I not send one unto you? I am the King of kings and the Lord of lords. I hold the last judgment. Amen. Listen. Pilate said unto them, what shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ? They all say unto him, let him be crucified. Let him be crucified. Amen. We're doing it still today. We're doing it still today. Preachers stand up every Sunday, every Saturday, Tuesday, every day of the week. They stand up somewhere and they give you Jesus. They stand up somewhere and they offer you the gospel. They offer you the living word. They offer you an opportunity to meet the one, friends, that came and died for you that day. And listen, that's the same as Pilate saying, shall you have Barabbas or will you have Jesus? Listen, you're given a choice. Brother Ed sings a song. It says, in eternity there is but two choices. Friends, and how true it is. How true it is. Because listen, when it all boils down, it ain't how much fun you had in this life. It ain't how much drugs you've done. It ain't how many people you've been with. And listen, it's where you're going to fall. Is the blood been applied? Did you believe in Him? And did you follow Him? Listen, He said, take up your cross and follow me if you're going to be my disciple. Amen. Listen. Brother Terry said the other day, and I even preached on it Sunday, he said, the cross was an instrument of death. The cross was the most cruel punishment there was in that day. And Jesus took it. He took the worst of the worst. You see, they could have stoned Him. They could have just took Him out and stabbed Him. They could have done a number of other things, but He took the most cruel punishment that there ever has been. And not only that, He got ridiculed before. He stood before governors, and he stood before people that mocked him. When they pressed the crown of thorns upon his head and put the reed in his hand, they bowed down before him and said, "Hail, King of the Jews." Mocked him. Oh, friends, what a day that's going to be when they do kneel down before the King of the Jews. What a day that's going to be, friends. What a horrible day that's going to be. I hate it for them. Listen, when they have to bow down before him and say, "Hail, King of the Jews." But listen, that day they'll say, "King of Kings and Lord of Lords," because he's Lord of everything, because he came and broke down the middle wall of partition, so that there'll be no Jew nor Gentile, no bond nor free. We'll all be equal in the eyes of God. When judgment falls, we'll all fall down before him. Amen. Listen. He told them here in the Gospel of Luke, when he was being delivered up, Pilate washed his hands and said, "I'm clean of this." They said unto him, "The blood will be on the hands of us and our children."